So good to have the Tusdid again. It's been some time that he did PMP and now he just did PgMP. Tusdid, congratulations on clearing program management. I'm so happy that you are able to manage. How are you, Tusdid, and Ramadan Mubarak? So yeah, Tusdid, congratulations on clearing PgMP on 24th of February 2025. How was your journey?
Yeah, it was a nice journey and also a hard journey. Uh, Last year, maybe at September, I knocked Mr. Abdul Rahman Sami about PBA.
Mhm.
Then he uh, advised me that better you do PGMP, it will elevate your career.
Mm,
And then I think and I said after one day that okay, I am go for PGMP.
mm,
And in that way, I start my journey.
mm.
But at least two times I think I need to quit because it was so hard for me. Sometimes I didn't pick his phone or even didn't respond him. I'm sorry for that. But I was in a position that I think I cannot do PGMP. It was very hard for me, uh, but at last I did it.
At last you did. Just Sami, if you can take it from there.
Yes, first of all, congratulations to Mr. Tofa. So, as we said that follow up is the key to the success. So, I think that he will, as he already mentioned, that there were times that he was not so motivated, and but ultimately we did it. We kept it step by step, and I told him that every day, even if you study half an hour, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, we have to give the time. So, and I think in the last 2 months, starting from January and February, he was fully passionate, and we had the target to finish it end of February. As you know, the Ramadan was starting. So I think that in the last 2 months, he really prepared in the last 2 months. And surely his application was already approved last year once we started. So well done.
Okay. How was the exam, Sadhya?
First 30 or 25 question was so hard. If and the first question is so hard. Uh, when I read the first question and then first few questions, then I think that actually what I read before, what I studied before, it was so hard, and I just flagged, and skip that part. And after that, the easy questions comes, and then it becomes okay for me. So total among 170 questions, I flagged 45 questions, 46 questions. Although Mr. Sami advised me that not more than 20, 35, but I cannot.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So that is a very interesting thing, but I want to take a step back. I want you to take with the journey started because one of the biggest thing in PGMP is the application. So how I know it's been a little bit some time. How was the application process? How did you went through it, and what did you learn through that process?
In application process, actually, the first thing is understanding of how to apply. Mr. Sami give me some example, so I just read it and I try to understand. But I was sometimes I was wrong. He corrected at least two times, and I just compose something, some projects. So how can I treat it as a program?
Hmm.
That is the main issue.
Hmm. Hmm. So okay, so Mr. Sami worked with you and guided you throughout the process. Mr. Sami, can you walk for everyone how our application process is so that those people who are listening they can also understand? Because right now we are going through certain application uh, into that way. So how what would you say? How did we basically help the people in the application? What the process is?
Okay, so the application part is a bit tough, but the good thing is that after March, it has been reduced to 2000 words. We have to write the overall program experience in which we have to link our program with the strategic objectives. That is a difficult part. And then once it is written, then we write the three parts of the experience summaries, strategic alignment, leadership, and governance. So while we are teaching the students, they write it overall program experience, then they write each section, and after each section they are sending back to me. I am reviewing it, then Mr. Amir, you are reviewing it, and then once we have gone through all the sections, and then we review it again together, and then we send it for the third party, so
mm,
to make sure that this we pass the panel review.
mm,
Because for everybody, before you are eligible to take the exam, your application has to pass, and you have to make the full payment to PMI.
mm,
So that is the tougher part. Once you apply, your application is accepted, then you have to make the full payment. So if your application is not so good, then the complications can come.
mm. Thank you very much, Mr. Sami. Now, when we talk about the application, what is the challenging part? Like last month, we reviewed three applications, if I'm not wrong, and those applications were rejected. What reason, when you review the application, what reason we are looking here? That is the reason that is getting applications are getting rejected.
I think the main point is to write by your own thinking, write as per your own experience. There is no theoretical part. Everything is that as they're completely right as a program manager what you actually did. So if you have not done actual program management in your real programs, then it will is not possible to write the application. And secondly, even the AI tools are available 100% sure. If you use any AI tool to write your application, ask him to write anything, your application will be straightforward rejected. This was my observation from the three students that came from outside. Surely these were not our regular students. Only for the application, I found this was the main issue.
Hmm. Okay, let's come to the exam. Mr. Sami, before I go with him, what are the changes since last 10 PGMPs you are facing that people are getting problem in the exam and people are getting things from there? What changes you are facing that people are getting in the exam?
I think Mr. Tofa can better explain it, but from my point of view, from my root cause analysis, the wording and the structure of the question is very complicated.
Hmm,
It is tricky. You don't understand what they are going to ask, what they want you to answer, because the options, the wording is very complicated. Because surely now the course content is also they are adding multiple different tones of the things. KPIs are there, some other words are there, but I think the structure of the question is very tough now.
hmm. The structure of the question is very tough. So, Mr. Tofa, since you gave the exam and the feedback you gave me was very near to that. So, what would you say? What is like you have given PMP and now you are a certified PGMP. What challenges do you face? What would you say into that?
After reading the question, I need to first fix from which domain it is coming, because according to that domain I need to answer. So if I want to use elimination technique or need to try to find the keyword, then I need to before answer I need to know from which domain it is coming. But recently, if from my exam, I feel it is very tough for few questions. Actually, I cannot split it domain wise. That is my point of view.
Mm-hmm. Domain wise, okay, it is becoming complex and we need to look into that. We need to see into that context and work into that way. Okay, let's put into that way. Which part is more difficult? Is it the questions are lengthy or what is there? What is the problem there? I'm not understanding it.
Actually, I'm well prepared in life cycle management domain, but it is difficult.
Mm,
So it is not difficult for me because I have good preparation, but I was not actually too much prepared on strategic alignment and benefit realization.
mm,
But the most important part was, I think governance domain,
mm.
because it is mixed up with every domain.
Hmm. So, okay. So, what actually challenges are occurring in that? Like you are doing the mocks, you are going there, you are solving question. So, when you are going there and trying to solve those content, what most important challenging questions are? The wording is difficult for you,
Yes,
and
wording is difficult,
what?
really difficult.
And I'm very happy that you are able to clear. I'm very happy because daily I'm getting people. This is I'm gonna say congratulations, Mr. Sami, and to you, Mr. Tasadded. that how I'm daily getting people failing in the exam, having challenging, but I really appreciate with even the PMI is checking from the nerves, getting bottom up, bottom down, and still we cleared it. How important the coaching call was for you in this success?
Actually, the last time when I motivated again to sit for exam, it is because of coaching calls.
Mm.
Because there is some coaching calls and master classes are there, which Mr. Sami gives me, and I just try to have a coffee in a coffee shop and try to check all the coaching calls, and it will make the difference. It was make the difference for me.
So, Sami, what are the coaching calls? I want this journey to be more of a people knowing what our program is as compared to just checking out into that. Mr. Sami, what is the coaching call and why it is needed for people? If you can put some light onto that.
The purpose of the coaching call is to understand how the questions should be attempted, because the amount of questions that we are preparing, that we are practicing is around 2000 now, because we are every continuously we are updating our question bank. But for sure that the questions that we are doing in our mocks on our simulators will not be the copy paste questions that you will get in the real exam.
Mm,
You will get the tone, you will get the flow of information that they want to ask,
mm,
but principally, unless you don't understand the tone of the question, unless you don't understand how the question can be formed, you are not able to answer the question. So in the coaching calls, we actually discuss each question, give the timer, because on the average for one question you have 70 seconds to answer, and then we are also discussing why not the other three options, because there is a high probability the question may come in the exam in which the option correct answer is other one than in our mocks, because the question is asked in a different way. So the and number one, and secondly, once we in the coaching calls, when at least we have 6 to 7 minds coming together,
mm,
then you know that okay, this is a straightforward question, but everybody gives a different option, different answers. So then you try to think out of the box,
mm.
different dimensions. You come to know that how this question can be asked and how you can give the answer.
And how can you give the answer? Okay, so Sadid, now Mr. Sami had a very strong intel. He was telling me the Sadid want to give exam, I put his break and things of those nature. So how those things were working? You were saying that you want to give the exam, Mr. Sami was taking a break and putting into that way. So this actually happens because of the follow-up system. So what would you say the follow-up system is in your own wording?
It's excellent. The technique he follow to follow up, it is quite amazing. Um, when I knocked him within 1 hour, within a 2 hour, back. It is very good for me,
Hmm.
and I was so impressed. Especially last 2 months, I got a lot of help from him, and it works for me.
It works for you. Okay, Mr. Sami, coming back to with the question, same question. What is a follow-up system? And you see, now this is a very important thing here. Our entire training system, the success coaching system for all the certification is based on the follow-up system without any doubt. Okay, being said that, but since you are doing PGMP and portfolio, those people are very senior professionals. Sometimes even they are double of our age, you and mine. So we are doing follow-up with them. Why do you feel that is necessary, and why do you feel that that is adding value to that?
I think the main essence of the feeling that student gets with the follow up is that I have somebody who is accountable for me. There's somebody behind me who is also worried for your success. As I really like the word the last time one student told that while sitting in the exam, when the exam was so tough, I was more worried that if in case I fail, what I will tell to Mr. Sami that why I failed, because he's so much passionate or Amir is following up so much. So I think that in our real professional life also, unless we don't have a follow up, if somebody gives you the task and they don't ask you for 1 week, we will never do it. Everybody wants to go easy way around. So especially in the senior certifications, especially in PGMP and portfolio, where the people are already at the CEO levels, they are at the managing director levels, they have minimum 55 years of age. In all these factors, to take out the time for study is really hard. So I think in that perspective, you need to give the feeling to the student that somebody is behind you, trying to be accountable for you, trying to push you and trying to remind you that this is something that you have to achieve. And before, another thing I want to add, in our coaching system, it's not that you take the training and then we forget.
mm,
Our aim is to pass through the exam in the minimum possible time,
mm,
and that is only possible. And if I was like we were discussing, Mr. Amir, like time that we had around 90 students from the beginning. Out of those, 67 have already taken the exam and passed the exam, and
mm,
the other one, they will be doing soon in 1 or 2 months. So we don't have any student who have not taken the exam within his allocated eligibility period. So
mm,
that is the main task once, because once we make sure that before we close our one-to-one program or the batch program, application is already submitted and accepted. So your payment is already done. It's only a matter of preparing and taking the exam.
mm. Okay, okay, okay. Now, I want to put something into the context here. Like what I believe, I'm a believer of Theory X. If you are certified PMP, you must be familiar, anyone who is watching that, what Theory X is. Theory X believes that people need help, people need coaching along the way. That is basically the essence of Theory X. And that's where we build the entire training system. That's where we build entire thing. And that is the basic essence of my entire organization, every certification, whatever we talked. Okay, Mr. Tofa, now, did you read the PGMP booklet?
Yeah, first I read the booklet, but at the end of my journey, I
Mm,
need to read the standard books also, because a lot of questions are actually comes from the appendix, and a lot of from the main book.
okay. So, how helpful the booklet was for you?
Booklet is very good for a better understanding. Initially, I can get the PGMP whole in a booklet, so it is better for me for initiation. But as the questions are so tough now, so I think at the end you need to read more than booklet.
You need to read more than the booklet, but booklet gives you the keywords. Coming to the exam content outline. Okay, Mr. Sami, so this means straightforward, we need to update the booklet. Let's call a spade a spade. That now with the new and updated, we will be updating booklet
Sure.
as we are moving forward. So when we wrote the booklet, and since we have like highest success record in the world, how the booklet has evolved and as we are updating, how it has helped Mr. Samir regarding the booklet.
I think the main essence that when we started to write the booklet was to make the flow of information in a easy way. Because once you are starting to read the standard book by yourself, it's not so easy to understand once unless you look at the booklet, because we made the life cycle in the first chapters, then we wrote other chapters. So till the last November, as we wrote in the 5 6 months, it was all available, it was all working there. So, in that perspective, I would say that surely, as with the passage of time, we are always learning, we will improve it. But the main essence or the main purpose of booklet was to have the complete overview and picture in your mind, so you
Mm,
can easily understand and make a flow of your preparation.
mm,
And secondly, the keywords, because in the question, surely you are going to get 1 or 2 keywords that can guide you towards the correct answer in order to find you in which phase are you working or on which document are you working. So that is the main essence of that booklet.
mm, mm. Now, I want to put this in this thing. You may, everyone who is listening to this video, they see people when they put the video out, they actually only want to focus on the positive side. Here, I am putting the content that is real. I am putting out. That's why me and Tasaddad, although we are good friends, we never rehearsed, okay, say this, say that. No, he's saying the real thing here. And as Mr. Samir is speaking, like when we wrote the booklet, it was according to that thing. Now Tasaddar is giving feedback. Ajmal, who cleared PGMP, he's giving feedback, and others people who have cleared PGMP in this year, including Dina, who is basically one of the PMI members, very senior members, we are updating the PGMP booklet on that. This is what being adaptive and agile is called. This is being what loyal is. We are loyal to our cause. We are loyal. That's why I wear these caps. Like I have like, I will show you, I have 10 of caps with different meanings, like one fitting there, dedicated. Me and Mr. Sami is dedicated towards the Saddad, making sure he gets this thing done in the minimum possible time. Okay, let's talk about the Saddad exam content outline. So previously the exam content outline had been a great help. Now, how do you look at the exam content outline from the exam point of view?
Actually, first, when I read the exam content outline, it was actually marked by Mr. Sami. It works very well, but it is very difficult to memorize. And as there is a lot of questions actually not directly come from the outlet ECO, but enhanced from ECO, inspired from ECO. So I need to try to memorize the ECO. That's why I try to split according to Mr. Sami what said, what, why, and how in the three part. Yeah. But all the exam content tasks are not actually have the three parts. So I try to do it in my manner, and I already shared it to Mr. Sami, and it works for me in a better way. And now it is too much clear for me, and it works for me.
Now, I just love the Sadh's journey. It is a raw success journey. He's putting out how he learned into the way, what works for him, what didn't work for him, and how it can be improved further on. Mr. Sami, what's your take on that, on the exam content outline and what we can learn and improve, and how much that is important as of today?
And basically, everybody has to understand the exam is based on the eco. So there are 72 tasks, but it doesn't mean that only 72 tasks directly will be asked in the exam, like Mr. Tuf already clarified. And if you go and look into your detailed scorecard, they have less eco's tasks that are coming in the exam randomly. So the main essence of eco is to understand what is in each domain, and surely every question in the exam will be based on the scenario. So unless you don't understand the scenario, you don't understand the flow, you're not able to answer the question. But again, coming to the point, you don't need to memorize it, but surely you need to understand it. But the actual wording of the eco as per the official document is very tough. It is very difficult to make the flow of that information. So the likewise, as Mr. Stofa clarified, we have broken down each task into different sections: what, how, and why. So making this, I would say, like the work background structure of each task actually makes a lot of sense and makes easy to make the understanding of the flow of each task in each domain.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, Mr. Sami, anything else that you would like to share how people can prepare?
uh, Coming to the in the recent exam things, first thing is to focus on the application. If you write by yourself, like we are teaching you step by step, you can easily understand the structure of the program.
Mm,
Because writing the application does not only mean to put your experience on the paper, actually it means to answer 500 words from a single liner question that is being asked in your application from the PMI. If
mm,
you go to your PMI portal, you can say that in every domain you have only one line.
mm,
Like in the program, write about your program benefits that you did with the roles and responsibilities. This is one line. You have to write 500 words.
mm,
Same is with the strategic alignment, develop a business case for your program. So please, everybody, please, when you are writing your application, first read the theoretical part and attend the lectures and then write your application. So it will actually help you to prepare for the real exam also.
mm,
And second step, once your application is done, then when you go to the exam preparation, always try to put every context in your real scenario.
mm,
Unless you do, otherwise you will remember, you will try to cram the thing, it will not help actually in the PGMP exam, 100% sure. There's nothing, because as Mr. Tofa can clarify, I think you didn't get any mathematical question, you didn't get any formula questions, right, Mr. Tofa?
You got
Nothing,
any? No,
nothing from mathematics.
No mathematics.
Yes.
No math.
So it means that there is nothing that you can cram and pass the exam. Everything is all contextual, everything is all conceptual, that you can only understand if you actually know how to apply this task or eco, or how to apply this document in your real program and project life. And that's why I think PGMP is still the most prestigious certification of PMI among the all other certifications, because of your practical implementation and the checking of your nerves from your all perspective in the exam.
Hmm. Thank you very much, Mr. Tofa. Would you like to share some final words with the people? How they can prepare?
Actually, for application purpose, I cannot add nothing, but only say that if you have a mentor and he can look after your application, then it is very easy for you to get not rejected. So I recommend that to have a mentor like Mr. Sami. So it is better for his journey,
Hmm.
anyone's journey. So for exam purpose, I think consistency is very important. If I read one time or two time or three time, I cannot understand. But master classes and coaching calls are very effective for understanding the concept.
Hmm.
So try to
Wonderful.
watch.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tusdid. And thank you very much for joining and sharing your success journey. And I know it has been, we were recording the journey, we would have group, because now we are living in a very different time zone. Mr. Sami is currently in Pakistan and I am in US, EST time zone. Tusdid is in Malaysia. So from different part of the world. But Tusdid, you made it. Tusdid, you are already working, I'm sure, with Mr. Sami for question answers. As you know, the our simulator is the best simulator. Let's keep working into that. Do send me after the call your picture. I'm gonna use it to make a thumbnail into it. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you very much everyone for looking into that. Before I
Thank you very much.
before I set this
Thank you.
into end, what I want to share here with everyone who is listening to this success journey now or later on, how me and Mr. Sunny is making sure that every single person who is enrolling in our program, they are becoming certified PGMP. This is something that me and Mr. Sami has worked very hard for a long time. And that is why we have the highest success record. Like, we don't put the straightforward content for you, okay, do this, do that. No, 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 no. What I want to work with you here is to understand this thing, that the content that we are working on is continuously dynamics. PMI is changing the exam and we are developing on it to work with you for you guys into the best and most effective way humanly possible. For example, if we talk about the current PGMP exam, even if you have open book, you cannot pass. Okay, even if you have open book, you cannot pass. What you need is to know the content, is to know the flow of the content and what happens in each documents and plan, the sequence. I would also put, of course, you need to learn, master how to solve question answers, right? So how do you get it? Yeah, you may be able to fill the application yourself. And let me tell you a very interesting thing here. Many of the applications that are being not approved is because their people are writing using ChatGPT. Right, Mr. Sami? People are like the application you reviewed, those applications are
Correct.
ChatGPT. So
Correct.
if we put it on a graph for everyone who will be watching this success journey, PGMP exam is this way, right? Step one, you need to write down the application. Okay. Step one, you need to write down the application. Okay. This application is the reason why 90% people never give the exam. People take training from Udemy or people are taking training from other institutes. But at the end of the day, they are not giving the exam. He'll accept and the light on. At the end of the day, they are not giving the exam. Why that is happening? That is happening because of the same reason. The challenge that they are having, the challenge that students face, that okay, this is something we need to work into that. That's why I always recommend when we work with you guys, we make sure you become certified PGMP. So if you really want to become PGMP, My batch is gonna start on 7th of March. I really want to work with you. Thank you guys. Thank you, Mr.